Thank you so much for tuning in to the Awakening with Katina Love and segment on Inspiration Sunday. I'm Katina Love, your host and producer of this talk show. The Awakening with Katina Love show is a go-to resource to learn about spiritual enlightenment, the law of attraction, creating financial abundance, and natural health. I can be reached at love@katinalove.com, or you can reach out to me on Facebook. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Awakening with Katina Love, where there are over 50 shows to download and listen to. We have a recurring guest today, Suzanne Young, and today we're going to talk about what and who is source energy. Suzanne, thank you so much for being another guest today. Well, for being a guest again, should I say?
Yeah.
On The Awakening with Katina Love. How are you?
I'm fantastic, and it's always my pleasure to be a returning guest. So thank you so much. It's always fun co-creating with you and, adding to more information out into the world.
Yes. It's so much fun. Absolutely. So, that is the question of today. Who is source energy, or what is that?
Well, that's a really good question. It kind of reminds me as if I was sitting on Oprah Winfrey's Super Soul Sunday when she always asked somebody, okay, what is God to you? And but I don't know that she ever asked, what is source energy? So that's a nice way to word things. But the way I kind of look at the universe, honestly, is that the whole entire universe is made up of energy, and it's all vibrating at different speeds, different rates. Most of the energy we can't see, much of it we can't see. But the way I like to think about source energy is it is the creative energy of the universe. Everything that is created from when time began all the way through where we are today and moving forward is experienced because of the result of source energy's creativity and desire to keep expanding. Because, energy is always expanding, and so that's what source energy is all about, expansion, expansion, expansion. So that's kind of my idea of what source energy is. Many people, depending on the culture you grew up or the religion you grew up or just the family and the people that you grew up around, there's all different ways to take a look at what I consider source energy, creativity of the universe, and it can be called a lot of different names. When I work with people, it's perfectly fine. Whatever they want to call it, we can call it God. We can call it infinite intelligence. We can all the other religions have different names for them. I couldn't go on to say them all, but whatever people turn to that helps them feel really good and have hope and spur that creativity and live in joy and be in full present now in that loving moment. That's all a part of what source energy is to me.
Yeah, and, we both studied the law of attraction and with Abraham Hicks, and Abraham Hicks is that collective consciousness. It is that source, God, source energy. Yeah. And from their teachings, they talk about we are part of that source. We are source energy and physical bodies.
Yes, we are. The the source energy of the entire universe is everywhere, all the time, and also within all of us. It's in, within the plants, the animals, every living part, even the ground, the trees, the rocks. That source energy is everywhere.
Everything we see and experience, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Even our trillions of cells are individual consciousness, connected to source energy, working intuitively with that beautiful, energy of life. That's why, luckily, we don't have to tell our cells what to do. The cells are connected to
I know,
energy.
Right?
Yeah. Could you imagine having to tell your heart to beat and your lungs to breathe correctly and your eyes?
It'd be a lot of work, wouldn't it?
Well, we'd go crazy. So there's all kinds of wonderful ways that the source energy is involved in every aspect of life here on Earth and out into the universe too. And consciousness itself is source energy. All of these things we can't see, and of course, people will say, well, who are very, very scientific and maybe analytical will prove it to me. And this is something that honestly you have to prove to yourself. You cannot, you come to these conclusions and these ways of talking about it from your own life experiences and the things that you listen to and are drawn to and that light you up. And in the end, when you come to a way to describe what even God is or source energy is, as long as it's really feeling good to you, it's pure loving experience when you think about it, then that's good. Those words are for you then. That's why it's pretty hard to define, but I think it's a fun topic to explore here in our little time together.
And we can only speak from our experience, right, and kind of like where we're at spiritually on this journey.
That is so true, because again, like we're all raised with different belief systems, and so what we're taught, as we talked about the law of attraction before, or one of the things I do help people become, to start looking at it in a different way, but your beliefs are just thoughts that you've been thinking over and over again, or someone else has taught you, trained you to think over and over again. It becomes so powerful, this thought process, it attracts to you experiences centered around the way you're thinking. So all belief systems, wherever they come from any culture, any religion, that's what the way that people think. And as long as it's always working for them, feeling good, their life is full of joy and love, cool. And it's when people start saying, well, this doesn't really resonate with me anymore, and they start exploring more, then they find new ways to think about things. And that's what I did. I mean, I probably, 15 years ago, if you'd asked me this question, I wouldn't have had any idea how to answer it. So I've explored myself.
Me either.
Trying to figure life out. And why some people are happy and some aren't, and why people have successful lives and some don't. And as I kept exploring, then I began to realize that this creative energy of the world, source energy, is everywhere within all of us and available to all of us to tap into to help us have everything we want and become everything we want and have all the joys in life.
Absolutely. And, the more I study with Abraham Hicks, I keep hearing that you are source energy in a physical body, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm embracing that idea, because in the beginning, because of, how I was raised and the belief system growing up, it was like, okay, God is outside of you. But now I'm realizing that more and more every day that God is inside of me. I am that which is God. And it takes a lot of self-work and meditation and going within and, just learning from wherever source resonates with you to embrace that idea, because it truly is a step of bravery to embrace that idea and to accept that idea.
Yeah,
because we're responsible for everything, right? All of our thoughts, all of our everything that we experience is we're responsible for it. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm still embracing that idea that I am that which is God in a physical body.
Well, good for you. It's that when you're raised in a different belief system, that God's outside of you, and that God controls everything, and that you sometimes feel like, and this is why many people, of course, get you praying desperately, because they feel the God outside of them has to somehow step in and help them. But when you begin to, and this is why it felt good to me too, as I began exploring, realizing this God source energy is everywhere. It's not only out there; it's in here. It's everywhere. It's flowing all the time.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, and that we can tap into it very easily. It is us. It's a part of us. It's a true.
It's part of who we are. And when you look into the eyes of an animal, that piece, like just say your dog or your cat, in that moment, you can see the source within them, or even another person. It could be another human being, an adult, or even a child, or even a baby. In that moment, when there is peace between two people, and you have that eye contact, you connect on a deep level, a deep soul level. Doesn't matter if it's an animal or a baby or an adult. It doesn't matter. But in that moment, you actually connect to your source and their source. Isn't that something?
Yeah, it's beautifully stated. And it's the same way even as you connect with nature. And this is why we're drawn to looking at beautiful flowers and gorgeous trees and green grass and the birds and the butterflies and the bees. It's all a part of source energy, and it makes us feel at one. It helps us get peaceful when we're under stress. This is why it's really wonderful to turn to nature. But I loved how you talked about looking into the eyes of an animal, one that you love, not one that you're afraid of course. But
right.
When I help people begin to understand this way of looking at things, I always talk about when I gave birth to each of my 4 children. And once the minute they're born, and they're all cleaned up and wrapped up and they're handed to you, or now they just give the baby right to you on your chest. But when they open their eyes and they look into your eyes with that deep source energy of love, there's pure love looking back at you. There's no more easier way to understand what that loving energy is, the source energy, the God source energy that brings life into this little body. And that's who we all are, Katina. We're all that pure, loving, high-frequency energy field spirit entering these bodies. And we can always get back into that beautiful place as we sit quietly, like you said, meditate. I say go out in nature or become peaceful and tune back into the source energy of you, because it's always there with us, it's part of us, and we can get to that beautiful feeling place as we let go of the worries, the fears, all of the lower frequency energy that pulls us away from the truth of who we are, which is pure love, really. It's interesting when I was waiting to get on the call, I saw a little phrase I had put on the wall in my office, and I hadn't looked at it in a long time, so it's kind of fun. I'll read it to you. It says, "You are only love, but when you deny this, you make what you are something you must learn to remember."
Wow.
You are
That's
only
wonderful.
love. Yeah. And that's what I love to when I'm coaching or working with people or when they come to our workshops. Really love to help them get back into the awareness of that, because that is who we are, but we do get pulled away from it through our life journey from the time we're little, when we're born, because there's all kinds of different frequencies, from the high frequency love down to the worry, the fear, and anxiety and things that will affect our journey as little ones until we, again, finally are aware that we get to pick the way we think, and which helps us feel a certain way, and it all comes together. I guess that's what I loved about the law of attraction, learning that, we can get back into that loving space of source energy. And it's simply by, paying attention to what we're thinking, quieting our mind, picking thoughts that feel good.
So if someone is new to all this information and they are looking for someone to coach them, how would they reach out to you?
Well, they certainly can email me. My email is Suzanne, SUZANNE, at P like in Paul, S like in Sam, programs with an S on the end.com. Suzanne at psprograms.com. They can also go on to our website. My husband Kevin and we like to look at ourselves as intuitive life and business coaches, because we help people tap into that intuition, that inner being, that source energy of you. We help them begin to see how that feels, to turn to that to help you have clarity when you make decisions. It's so empowering, and that's where we intertwine all of this into our coaching and the programs that we offer. We offer programs, too, where they can come and learn all of this in a little small group setting, 5 or 6 people in our home. Everything's confidential, and we experience and teach and train all of this in a really warm atmosphere where you can ask all the questions, begin to learn all of this information. And I actually wrote a book. It was a nice, simple little book that it's the introduction to who you really are, the truth of you, that your source energy, that your thoughts are the ones you think are the ones that are leading you into the experiences you're having. And that book is up on Amazon, and that's called Stepping into a Life of Joy, Stepping into a Life of Joy. By me,
Oh,
Suzanne. Actually, yeah, Suzanne. Actually, I've been up there at Suzanne C. like in Carol Young, Suzanne C. Young, because there were several other Suzanne Youngs up there on
Oh,
Amazon.
yeah. Oh, okay.
So I put
Makes sense,
my
right?
middle initial in there, yeah.
Okay, well, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing all that wonderful information today. And audience, if you'd like to go back and listen to Suzanne and I did 2 other talk shows on the law of attraction, and then there's one on relationships, manifesting your perfect mate. So we encourage you to go back and listen to those.
Yeah, that would be fun. It was fun. They were both fun. I've enjoyed this one too, and this was
Yes.
yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for reaching out to me again, and hey, you can call me anytime.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being a guest, Suzanne. And audience, thank you for tuning in to The Awakening with Katina Love. Namaste.